What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jamal from Team R4S TV, bringing you guys another gameplay video, but this time with commentary. On the left, we have my teammate playing a blue-green hand destruction Vegeta, and on the right, we have my other teammate playing a blue-green hand destruction Champa deck. So this should make for a very interesting match. Don't forget to also hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit the bell for post notifications just so you guys know whenever we upload. So let's go ahead and get this match started. So I believe on the first turn, the Vegeta player is going to be going first, and he charges an energy boosted Beerus. And guys, we do make mistakes. This is raw footage, so when he takes that back, he realizes that he wants to charge the Gotenks instead and go for a human shield Krillin. So we do apologize for that if we make mistakes during raw footage. Sometimes, we're teammates, so we take moves back, and we don't be tripping. But we never do that during a tournament. So anyway, Champa player decides to charge Beerus and play Majin Buu and pass. Back to the Vegeta player, and it looks like the Vegeta player is going to charge Beerus this time, and he's going to drop Buu to draw a card, and then go ahead and use Vegeta's effect to add a prize to his hand, which will give Vegeta critical for the turn. Now he's going to send his leader Vegeta into Champa, and I'm going to assume no negator blocks. And my teammate is going to combo with Majin Buu to save the life instead of just moving it to the drop area. That's what critical does, as most of you will know. So then my teammate decides to charge energy boosted Beerus, and it looks like he's going to go into Vegeta. And my teammate's probably thinking, does he want to take the prize or not? Decides to take the prize. Most people might find that move conflicting. They might think that he could have just comboed with the Buu so he could take the prize with Vegeta's effect, but he probably did it because he wanted to get closer to his awakening. Vegeta tends to be a little bit scarier in his awakening because he hits for 15k and he draws a card. So my teammate charges a 1-drop Broly and then uses Vegeta's effect again to add a card to his hand from his life to get critical, and then he swings at Champa, and it looks like he takes the prize this time. So it looks like he's going to tap 3 and probably go for an assailant Vegeta. Yep, and then he goes into Champa again to keep the pressure on. Looks like my teammate is going to take the hit again, and he goes down to 6 prizes. So my teammate on the left is looking very comfortable. The pressure is on. So let's just see how the Champa player responds. He's gonna charge a 3-drop he's gonna charge a 1-drop Broly, and then play Assailant Vegeta, go into the leader and use Champa's effect to draw a card, and looks like he's gonna block with Krillin. He's gonna swing with Champa into his leader Vegeta, and that's so he can get him down to 4 prizes, so he can't use Vegeta's skill next turn to go down to 4 and then awaken and be able to attack with the critical. And it looks like my teammate takes it. Very questionable play. He could have just comboed with the Buu, but I guess he prefers to just take the extra card because he can just awaken and swing into the Assailant Vegeta next turn, which won't really give the Champa player any advantage because he won't be adding a life back to his hand. And using Vegeta's skill to go down to 3 prizes can be risky because if my teammate drops a bunch of battle cards and begins to pressure him, then eventually he's going to lose hand advantage because Champa's skill says whenever a battle card with 15,000 or more power attacks a leader, you draw a card. So teammate decides to charge another Beerus and go ahead and awaken. And more than likely, he's probably going to send his leader Vegeta into the Assailant Vegeta, or he can take the life and give it critical and probably go into Champa. But it looks like he's just going to go into the Assailant Vegeta, which is a good play. It looks like my teammate decides to let the Vegeta die. And it looks like he's going to go in with the Assailant Vegeta to Champa, and he's going to take the hit. which puts him at 5 prizes. And this can be a very tricky situation because from now on, the Vegeta player can start an Awaken lock, keeping his opponent at 5 prizes. But if the Champa player doesn't play anything to respond or give the Vegeta player something to attack into, eventually he's going to have to drop him below 5 so that he can awaken. But he's probably going to try to set up a board before he does that. So he's going to play the 1-drop Broly, and it looks like he got a 6-drop in there somewhere. I couldn't really see it because he moved his hand really fast, but I believe there's a 6-drop in there. Yeah, grabs the special rare 6-drop and adds that to his hand. And it looks like he's in a very good spot. He has the prize. He has the life lead in a sense. He's only down 1 life, but he has a card advantage and he has board. So very good spot. So we'll have to see if my other teammate can turn this around. Let's just see what his next play is. He can go. It looks like he's going to go ahead and pass, which he keeps 3 open, which means he can be very defensive this turn. So my teammate's going to charge an Assailant Vegeta. And it looks like he's thinking. He's going to tap 3 and play another Assailant Vegeta. And he's going to keep the pressure on to draw cards with Champa instead of trying to clear the board, because although the Vegeta player has board, his board's kind of weak. The Assailant Vegeta is the only threat because he can't evolve into the 6-drop Broly next turn because it requires, I believe, 3 green, which means he would tap out if he charged the green and evolved into it, which can be risky. Looks like he's going to combo 5k to not take the hit from the Assailant Vegeta. And more than likely, my teammate's just going to pass. Tapping out the last energy probably could be risky, so he's probably just going to pass. But he's probably thinking, is it worth playing another card or not? And he's actually going to go into the Assailant Vegeta with Champa. Maybe trying to get off a free hit with Senzu Bean. But the Vegeta player just negates it, which in sense can be a smart play. He could have just comboed the Boo, because I don't think the Champa player was going to combo more than a Senzu Bean in order to try to take out the Vegeta. So he could have probably just let the hit go through and then comboed the Boo to 20k. But we never know. Anyway, so he's gonna charge the Broly, the special rare Broly. And he's gonna attack with his leader Vegeta into the Assailant Vegeta. Draw a card with Vegeta skill. And looks like he takes the hit and the Assailant Vegeta goes down. Now he's probably contemplating whether or not he wants to put the Champa player below 4 life, which in some cases it might seem like the wrong play. However, I feel it's just best to stay as aggressive as possible to leave your opponent in a messed up situation. Sometimes being too defensive will allow your opponent to come back on you, and you'd be surprised. We might see that in this game. It just depends. If he decides to pass, I'd be very surprised. And he does decide to pass. I don't know if I agree with that play. I might have just taken the 2 Assailant Vegetas and went in since the board presence is so heavy. But he decides to pass anyway. It's like he's going to charge a 3-drop Go Tanks and then tap 5 for Go Tanks, the 5-drop, which is a very good card. When it's put into play, it allows you to switch 2 of your energy to active mode and draw a card. Very, very good card. More than likely, this Go Tanks is going to go into the leader Vegeta to keep the pressure up and draw a card off of Champa's skill. This will force the Vegeta player more than likely to combo, as taking the 2 damage can be a little bit risky, because then he's just a single double strike away from losing the game. So more than likely, he's thinking about what the best play is, and he decides to take the two. Very questionable. We'll never know what's in his hand, but anyway, it looks like he's gonna go in with the Champa to keep the aggressiveness going. Not entirely sure what his play can be here. He might be going for a Sensu Bean bluff, which the Vegeta player does take the bait and taps for 4 power energy. Essentially, I think he got what he wanted to accomplish because he got him to bait a card out of his hand by just attacking with a Champa. So, very good play on his part. So the Vegeta player is gonna think about what to charge this turn. More than likely, it should be another green energy to set up for these Brolys, but a blue's not bad either. The problem with the 6-drop Broly is he takes 4 green, so essentially it's a lot of work to play him, and he does charge the green. It looks like a Sun Goten. Um, Now he's just showing him how many cards he has in his hand. I believe that's 6 or 7. Sorry, I'm very colorblind, so I'm trying my best. But he's gonna evolve, which is a very good play because it's only gonna cost him 5, so he doesn't completely tap out. He leaves up 1 blue, and as you guys know, or if you don't know, the 6-drop Broly randomly takes 2 cards from your opponent's hand and moves them to the drop area. So it looks like he takes the Whis' Coercion. He's gonna take 1 more card, and it looks like a Human Shield Krillin. And so more than likely, this turn, if he doesn't go aggressive, I'm not sure what he's doing. That's just my opinion. But more than likely, he might just commit the Broly into taking out the Go Tanks to remove the pressure from him. But it can always be a tricky situation because as long as the Champa player continues to apply the pressure to the leader and ignore the board, eventually he can sneak through and probably win the game. So it looks like he's gonna go with Vegeta to go tanks just to draw a card, and he might throw a 10k boost in here just to see if his opponent will commit a card to saving the go tanks. Let's see what he's gonna do. He's thinking, and he's gonna commit a Piccolo just to see if his opponent. He's gonna commit the Piccolo and the Boo. See if his opponent is gonna, excuse me, is gonna commit to trying to save the Gotenks, but it looks like he just lets the Gotenks die, which is not a bad play because that means he will probably have to commit 1 to 2 cards to save it. And it looks like he's finally going in with the Vegetas, which is a smart play. You want to apply as much pressure to your opponent as possible while you have a board state because it is going to force them to get rid of cards. So I realized here in watching back in the recording that we did make a gameplay error in raw footage in which my teammate did play the Sensu Bean to protect the assailant Vegeta hit, but he didn't awaken. So technically, he was supposed to take the damage, or he forgot to awaken. But that's why I say this is raw footage. So guys, we do apologize if you see any gameplay errors like that. You know, sometimes we don't pay attention to things like that, or we might not catch stuff like that, which can be sometimes, fatal because now, for example, my teammate can probably play a card like a Sailing Vegeta or Gotenks or something and draw off of his normal side Champa when theoretically he's supposed to be awakened if he wanted to protect himself from that Vegeta last turn with the Sensu Bean. But again, next time we'll try to be as sharp as possible with our gameplay. This was the last round, so sometimes it's hard to catch stuff like that after you've been playing for a while. You know, game states can look very dire, or you might be under pressure and you're not thinking about it, or your opponent's not thinking about it, so they don't catch it either. But moving forward, we do apologize for that, and we will try to correct any misplays or errors that you guys do see during gameplay. So anyway, it looks like my teammate's gonna play the one drop Broly, and he searched the top 7 cards for another one drop Broly, which is gonna add to his hand. And it looks like he's going to awaken to draw 2 cards. And now he's thinking about his play, which he probably wants to continue to apply pressure instead of worrying about the board because the board's it's looking kind of rough. There's 2 assailant Vegetas and a 6 drop Broly with 30k and double strike that he possibly has to go through next turn, but his opponent is at 2 prizes, so he's literally a couple attacks from dying. So more than likely he's going to go into his leader Vegeta, not wasting any time trying to go for that kill, just to bait cards out of his opponent's hand. More than likely, if he does not combo, this is going to draw out a Sensu Bean, I would imagine. But it looks like he takes the prize, which is a very interesting play. I personally don't like going down to 1, especially when my opponent hasn't commit most of their energy for that turn, because it allows them to pressure you so much. Like he can literally probably just swing with that one drop Broly and drop his whole hand, possibly for game. But I mean, you never know. It just depends on what your opponent has at the time. So more than likely, my teammate was surprised at the fact that he decided to take that hit and go down to 1. So that probably changed his play because he expected his opponent to probably combo with like Sensu Bean or something. So now he's going to take a little bit more time to think about the most optimal play because he will be facing down a lot of pressure next turn from the 2 assailant Vegetas and the 6 drop Broly. So it looks like he goes for energy power Go Tanks, which is a pretty good move because if this goes into the leader Vegeta, he will automatically have to discard a card from his hand as well as trying to counter. But it looks like he doesn't go for the counter and just discards 3 drop Go Tanks from his hand. And more than likely, he's gonna probably try to go for a kill, I would imagine. I don't know what the hand sizes are looking like, but it looks like he's gonna go in for the kill. So he's gonna play the 2 drop Vados, and when your leader is at 4 or less life, you can add 10,000 to this card's combo and draw a card. And by the looks of it, he might be passing on combos just to see if his opponent is going to commit 2 cards to try to stop this Vados. And it looks like it draws out a Piccolo for 10k. And it's probably going to draw out another 5k. So he pretty much stops the attack right there and gets rid of 3 cards from his opponent's hand. So that's pretty good turn. So essentially now all he needs to do is just survive until next turn, and more than likely he can set up just about anything for a potential game since his opponent's at 1 life. And he's still at 4. So he can pretty much sit comfortably. If he gets a Sensu Beam on his leader Champa, that will block both the assailant Vegetas. At that point, the 6 drop Broly will be the only threat. So it's a very comfortable board position and game state. Sensu Bean is just that good of a card. Being able to give a card plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn and give you an extra energy. So it looks like my teammate's going to send his leader Vegeta into Go Tanks. Probably trying to remove that from the board to stop the pressure from Go Tanks because at this point it's pretty much a discard 1 card every time. And it looks like he combos with the 2 drop Goten. When you combo with that card, you can select one of your opponent's 3 costs or lower and send it to the drop area. So he gets a double board clear. He pretty much gets a 2-for-1 right there. Then he's going to play the 1 drop Broly, search the top 7. And it looks like he missed. Yeah, he missed. That's a little tough because he had to commit 1 energy there just to play that. and then he's basically going -1 in hand, so that really has to stink. Getting the Broly off of that would have been a major advantage to him because he would have got a 10k card to combo with to better defend himself next turn. So at this point, it's probably best that he goes in with these Assailant Vegetas just to test for the Sensu Bean. Looks like he's going to pay 1 energy to play Boo to draw a card, maybe digging for more counters. And it looks like he's going to drop a 3-drop Gotenks. I think he's thinking about it. He's going to commit a 3-drop Gotenks. And interestingly enough, he's only going to leave up 1 green energy. That's a little risky because that means he only has room for 1 counter next turn, which is 1 full power energy. It's like he goes in with the Gotenks, and my teammate discards a 5-drop Broly and takes the hit, goes down to 3. He's going to go in with the Assailant Vegeta, more than likely. Okay, looks like my teammate's going to play the full power energy, and he's going to discard the Broly. He pointed at Majin Buu, but then he noticed that Broly was there, which is the better move because he would be susceptible to an evolve next turn for a 5 or 6 drop Broly. So he goes in with the second Assailant Vegeta, and it looks like no counters are being played. So it looks like he's going to try to combo Sensu Bean, but then he realizes that he only has a green energy left. So common misplay on my teammate's part. He just tapped his energy wrong. If he tapped his energy correctly, he would have been in a position to play the Sensu Bean, but you know, it is what it is. During games, sometimes we won't catch things like that, and it'll put us in game states where, you know, that mistake can be fatal to the game because getting that extra energy back from Sensu Bean probably could have made a dramatic difference. Looks like my teammate is going to combo 10k with the Vados and draw a card, and then combo a 5k to block the damage. So he does not go to 2 prizes, and the 6-drop Broly cannot threaten lethal. So at this point, with only 1 energy left in the Broly, it's probably best not to attack, only because he would be giving his opponent 2 more cards to their hand and leave them at 1, which is no advantage to him. So it looks like he just ends his turn. More than likely, this is going to be the game turn. He's got 7 energy. His opponent's at 1 life. He's literally maybe 2 attacks away from not surviving. And it looks like he's just going in for the kill. And so he's thinking about tapping his final energy to play probably a full power energy and negate the attack, which pretty much is going to leave him open to any battle card that's coming out this turn. And it looks like he's going to tap 6, and he's going to play the 6-drop Broly back at his opponent to discard 2 cards out of his hand, which pretty much is going to spell game at this point because his opponent's completely tapped out. He's down at 1 life. He's got 30k coming at him, and he's got, ooh, and he knocks out both the Piccolos. Yeah, yeah, that there's no choice. That's game, man. That stinks. That really stinks. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this gameplay. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and comment and subscribe before you go. And also let me know in the future if you guys would like more commentary videos from me and my other teammates on the channel. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day, and I'll catch you.